The Toronto Raptors return to Tampa and get the win against the Charlotte Hornets. 6 players in double digits, including Chris Boucher and his career-tying 25 points. 111, 108, a little dicey down the stretch, but the Raptors improved to 3-8 on the season. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Raptors Nightcap. Randy Urban alongside Jack Armstrong, Paul Jones, and Sherman Hamilton. Guys, the offense really dried up there in the fourth, but good to get a win.
Yeah, Randy, Sherman and I talking about the game on the radio, there were times when it just seemed like Toronto could have put their foot on Charlotte's throat. And it comes down to the last few plays, but you look back in the middle of the third quarter, the middle of the fourth quarter, the end of the third quarter, you're up, you're cruising along, there's a turnover, another empty possession, they score a 3 and then a 2, and all of a sudden you look at your lead and it's like, wait a minute, I had money in the bank. Where did it go? And the Raptors, I just think they need to do a better job of sustaining the effort. Now, tonight, they were good enough to get the win, but it's not a pattern you want to see repeated. And I thought they did a great job tonight for most of the game. They just, again, fell into a phase where they let some stuff get away from them, and it didn't cost them tonight.
Sure, more of a balanced attack tonight. 99 points after 3, and then it dried up, as we mentioned. But what was their key to their offense early on?
I thought they moved the ball really well, Randy. I thought their ability to space the floor and consistently find teammates, and the three-point line was on fire to start this game. So their ability to make plays outside, I thought off the dribble, off the catch, off a transition was very effective. And their offense, which is not a trend you want to keep having, kept them afloat in this game. I mean, Charlotte came out and shot the ball extremely well, but the Raptors were able to score as well, and that helped them stay in this game. And it's one of those things where it's a fleeting way to win games, as we all know. You don't want to rely on your offense. And I thought at moments in this game, especially in the middle of the third quarter, we saw their defense kind of take over. They had, I think it was a 17-point lead, had a chance to really extend the lead. And then one mistake cost them, as Jonesy was saying, and it just kind of snowballed. But to your question, I thought that they moved the ball exceptionally well with a season-high 33 assists, and everybody was involved in that. That, to me, created great looks on the three-point line as well as at the basket.
Jack, obviously this is a game of runs, so you know that as well as anybody. But what do they need to do to avoid some of these runs that get the team back in the game, the opponent?
Well, obviously, we could focus a little bit on the opponent themselves, Charlotte, because they're going to see him again on Saturday night. I thought they struggled in their zone attack in the fourth quarter in some possessions. And then in other possessions, they got great rhythm shots that they didn't make, and they bailed themselves out. They did a great job. Boucher, Siakam, and Anunoby were energetic on the offensive glass, so that helped them. But I think they just got a little passive against the zone. And, that's what the zone does to you. So I think if I'm James Borrego going into Saturday night's game, I spot that zone maybe a little bit more and challenge the Raptors to have answers against it. But I just think for the Raptors in general, when they create offense off their defense and they get running and they put pressure on the defense with the running game, I think they're really good. When they have to set up in the half court, it seems like late in games, they're living and dying with long shots. And a lot of times late in games, you're a little tired and you don't shoot it as well. So those would be a few things.
Jonesy, Boucher once again was outstanding. 25 points, tying a career high, double-digit rebounds, couple blocks. There doesn't really seem to be any let-up in his development, right?
Yeah, no, Sherman and I were talking. I gave him the double-double on the radio, and the official score is a little slow. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, man. Give the guy his money. He was terrific, Randy. And what I like is he's getting into a nice rhythm. There's a lot of noise about should he start, and like he could give more production than Len and Bain. He is, and he's doing it coming off the bench. And as I said, I like the fit for him in the second unit, in the hybrid unit with some of the starters. He's a scoring option. And then you got him in there finishing games, protecting the rim, and playing with that energy at the end of the game. So the young man has just been terrific. And this is not new. People that are just noticing, he's always played with this kind of energy. He's always had this kind of fearlessness. And, hey, I'm in the game. I'm not here to be a spectator. So I just love what the young man's done. And you can see his confidence growing. He knows where his shots are coming from. He'll position himself for the ball to be swung in a catch-and-shoot situation. He'll drive it to the goal. He'll roll. He'll cut along the baseline. He's just becoming more comfortable in all phases of the game.
Sure. The question marks with Boucher coming in and throughout his tenure with the Raptors, is he big enough down low? Are you seeing him getting bullied down there as much as, in my opinion, he's not really getting bullied at all. What are you seeing there? And how is he able to, sort of thwart some of the bigger guys?
Well, I think it's an advantage-disadvantage situation. I mean, what people look at his disadvantage might be his physical size, the girth that he presents, but that lightness allows him to be quicker than bigger guys. It allows him to slide into spots, and it really allows him to get that second and third jump in quicker than bigger guys. And I think for Chris Boucher, he's fought that discussion his whole career. And the reality is he's here, he's producing because he's figured out ways to utilize his size to his advantage. He runs the floor extremely well. That's something that bigger guys aren't able to do. He steps out to the three-point line, has a fluid shot, might not be textbook, but it goes in, and that's all that matters. And then when you look about his calling card, which is blocking and altering shots, you can't tell me that lightness doesn't have a big role in his ability to move laterally, to get up and contest and block shots. So I like what he brings in. We can discuss his size all you want, but when he puts up numbers like this, I don't care how big he is. He's doing what he needs to do. And this young man is creating impact on so many levels. And to the question about him starting or not, listen, Nick Nurse is going to need help from those big guys at some point throughout the course of the season. If he can find something early and go to Chris Boucher, he'll do it. But if Chris Boucher has to extend his minutes because those guys aren't getting the job done, I'm not mad at that. You just don't want him to wear it down. But Chris Boucher, when he's on the floor, he has a lot of impact.
Jack, I thought the rest of the bench was really good too in the minutes that they played. Watanabe, more and more trust from the coach in there in the first quarter or second quarter, diving after loose balls. He makes so few mistakes defensively. It's hard not to play him.
Well, I like Watanabe. I like him. I like how Stanley Johnson's playing. I think he's playing hard, and more importantly, he's staying within himself on the offensive end. He had 6 points, 3 assists tonight. I thought he made some good plays, and as long as he keeps it simple and plays high percentage oriented, he's good. Watanabe is a guy that just is long, he's athletic, he's quick, and he's a feisty defender. So to me, I really like how the bench played tonight, plus 12. I think Norm Powell had a tough three-point shooting night tonight, 1 of 8. He had a lot of good rhythm shots, but he has been playing better of late, and I think he's going to break through. So to me, overwhelmingly, I liked what I saw tonight from the second unit. To me, it was just really like just a quick little snapshot. The fourth quarter where kind of everything went the other way. I do think they lost a little bit of their mojo late in the game in terms of I don't know, there was a little starch out of their game. They didn't look like the same team in terms of the cutting and the movement. Guys got a little reluctant and a little gun shy. And, obviously I think you lose a few close games and it starts getting in your head a little bit. And even though they won tonight, they gave up a big lead. So, hopefully they can get out on Saturday night and come out and really put a lot of pressure on Charlotte and not be in that situation again and get a winning streak going. And that changes the mindset a lot.
Jonesy, speaking of putting pressure on Charlotte, I thought Kyle Lowry really set the tone for them tonight. 16 points, 12 assists, 6 rebounds. The vintage Kyle performance.
He always does, Randy. And it's a line that I've been using for years. He supplies the requisite energy for the team. And, he plays downhill. He's taking charges. I thought he stepped in and took a charge at the end of the game. That would have been a key call that he didn't get. But he's always looking to make winning plays. And that's something that, we talked about the Raptors kind of finding their balance again in close games. That's going to come because of guys like Kyle making winning plays, getting the ball inside. He had a couple of lovely dishes to Boucher along the baseline. Chris, he lobbed one up for him, found him on a bounce pass on another one. As I said, tried to step in and take a charge, which I thought he did, and he didn't get the call. But Kyle's always making those winning plays. And this is not well, let's do it in the fourth quarter. Kyle does this consistently when he's on the floor, be it the first quarter or the fourth quarter. So, like Jack said, maybe they can string a couple together here, get the confidence back. But a guy like Kyle, he's not going to quit. Don't expect him to lay down. And it's almost the opposite. The more they lose, the harder he tries to break this thing and to turn it around. So you're going to get everything from Lowry.
Just one quick thing to tag Jonesy there, talking about Lowry. I think Lowry and Boucher are developing a really cool chemistry. A lot of what we saw between him and Ibaka, they were money. And I tell you what, they made some money connections tonight, which is pretty cool to watch. But what the good thing is, they've been teammates, and Chris learned a lot from playing with Serge, and you're seeing some of that institutional knowledge rub off.
Kyle's old school, Jack. He always looks for the big man, right? He's your old school point guard. Hook up your big man. Feed the dog, he'll guard the yard.
A lot of chemistry between those two, like Sherman and I on the road.
I'm so glad we're not traveling right now.
Is that what, Herbs, is that what it is when I see you walking 4 steps behind him?
I'm just trying to ride those coattails, man.
There's a reason why you don't get a rooming list on the road.
Hey, guys, I appreciate you doing this. Even you, Sherman. That's it for now. Oh, crew. That ain't right. Charlotte, Saturday night, 7:30. See you then.
Thanks for watching. You can click to watch our last episode or to subscribe to the Toronto Raptors YouTube channel so you don't miss an episode.